good, everybody? Teabagger Gibbon here with a strategy for the Crota's raid on hard. You need Hunter class to do this one the way I did it. So what you're going to do here is you're going to kneel down, go invisible, and then you run to the first lamp. You should get through everything. Your weight of darkness should go up sort of slowly. Just to point out, you want to make sure that you've got a weapon on here that gives you extra agility when you're running, so the weight of darkness doesn't slow you down too much. Jump up on top of the lamp. Kind of messed it up a bit here. Quite a lot, actually. And then kneel down, go invisible again, and then start running to the next lamp. You pretty much want to do this through all the lamps and just keep looking at all of the lamps as you go. Just get the weight of darkness off of you, jump off onto the top of the lamp, kneel down, go invisible. It's almost like scratch and repeat on each one. The way we did it on here, we had 2 hunters for this, 2 warlocks with the revive on, and another couple of other people as well, just doing specific backup really. So the idea is that the rest of your team kind of just wait around really for you to get as far as you can. And the aim of the game here is, you'll notice that my super's already charged up, but the aim of the game for this bit here is to try and get as far as you can by just using your kneel down invisibility, and save your super for as long as you can. It also helps as well if you can blow up a few people as you're going along. It took us quite a few goes to kind of get this right, but you can do it. You end up, I think, doing about 15 of the lamps and avoiding the last 2. But you need to make sure, as I said, that you've got a weapon on that gives you a couple of extra agility, so the weight of darkness doesn't weigh you down. I'm using the icebreaker, it's fully charged, and as you can see I'm kind of making my way through and running through and trying to avoid everything as best as I can. I mess up a couple of the lamps trying to jump on it. Nobody's perfect, obviously. But if you stood behind the lamps, it gives you a little bit of extra time in case there's any thrall around, that they won't sort of come to you straight away. As you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble getting on top of the lamp. And just kneel down. Don't jump off of the lamps either, just try and run straight off of them, because it makes it easier and it'll make your invisibility last a lot longer. Got beeps going off all over the place, the emails coming through. So yeah, this took us a few goes to do. This is the Crota's raid on hard, I should mention as well. So we're just trying to obviously get as much loot as possible. We did the usual, keep spawning in until the chest appears at the first door on the left hand side. So as I said, yeah, you just kind of keep making your way through. It's a bit repetitive and a little bit boring, but you know, the rest of your team members just kind of wait there for you. They can start making the way through once you've been going for a little while, because what we noticed is that as the lamps go out, the thrall and the curse thrall won't spawn near them, so it gives them a bit of a free run pretty much all the way up to whatever section that you manage to get to. So as I said, it's just making its way through and trying to do it as best as you can. There's a couple of hairy moments here. I'm trying to save my super for as long as possible. There's a knight there on the side. Go invisible. Run straight to the next lamp. If you can hear some knocking, it would be my animals having a bit of a fight behind me. So yeah, keep making your way to the next lamp. Watch out for the holes as well. One of the little other tip that I'll give you on this as well is that if you go into your settings, in-game settings, and just set your brightness to 7, so the highest brightness that you can, it'll make it easier for you to pick out the holes and stuff that are in the floor, so it makes it less likely for you to fall down them. As you can see, I can spot, you can pretty much pick up the holes straight away. My game brightness is set pretty high on this. So yeah, getting a little bit closer now. Just try to make my way up, keep falling down. Try to make my way onto the thing, keep falling down. If you jump around, they shouldn't get you too much. But as I said, you just got to get that invisibility on, and as thick as the thrall are, they'll forget that you're there and run around trying to look for you. So I think we're getting a little bit closer, and I'll start going up the hill in a second. I probably could have cut this a little bit more, but I just wanted to show you the strategy that I used, or that the team that I had used for getting to the top. Because the next bit after this is important. It makes the reason as to why to save your super quite clear. Because there is a section coming up soon, I think, actually. Should be. Yeah, there's the next night. So it's this bit here where you're trying to get to the next light, where you want to, if you can do it right, you can get all the way to your super. It's easy. Well, you can get to the top without having to use your super anyways. So yeah, the weight of darkness was getting quite high on me here. So what I managed to do was try and get the weight of darkness off me as quick as possible. It does actually come down quite quick, but rather than try to jump up, just stand up and kneel down to get invisible. I didn't jump onto this last lamp here, I just kept running. And I'm trying to get round them to get to the bridge. And this is the bit where it kind of gets key. What I tried to do is set off the bridge by myself. So I managed to set the bridge off, went invisible on the bridge, and tried to get it going for as long as possible. I do die quite shortly, but what it means is that the bridge starts forming and the ogres come out. So if your team can see the ogres from where they are, they can shoot them from far away. But what I was trying to do was do the usuals to get onto here, but I died. Now this is the next bit that's key, as I said. Even if you die on this, and you still got members walking through, because the lamps are out, the thrall won't spawn in near the lamps, so they should have a clear run to come around the same side that I did and be able to pick everything off as they're going. And the other good bit of this is obviously you can then, if you do die, you can then look to different members like I am here, and you can kind of be their eyes and ears for them at the same time as well. If you spot certain things or you can see certain things and let them know that things might be appearing. I think here I'm trying to see if I can see the ogre. I think he's over to the left hand side, way over to the left hand side now anyways. But as I said, the bridge will stop spawning if you've died, so you need to get the other hunter to come up like we have here and go invisible and get on the bridge or be up there for as long as possible. As you can see, the bridge starts forming again. The music kicks in again because there's somebody up there, so you know the bridge is spawning because the music's kicked in. So what we got him to do was to do the kneel and stay low, keeps the thrall away, and then get behind this rock here for as long as he can without dying. Now bear in mind as well, we've got the warlocks as well, which have the self-revive on. So again, just make sure that those supers are up, so if they do go down, they can self-revive themselves. So yeah, we're just here now making sure that the bridge is as fully formed as possible, waiting for the other two guys to come up. He does die in a second actually, to be fair to him, but he did a really good job. This was another guy that we got in off of the Destiny LFG website. Again, can't speak highly enough for that website, it's brilliant. So yeah, he dies here. And then what we essentially do now, because the bridge is formed, we start looking round at other people. And our mate Shortbread was kind of the last one alive out of our team, and what we were able to do was just to point out when there were thralls come in from the left hand side or from the right hand side, or from the just to keep him aware of where they are, so we could kind of help him and keep him alive. And then also as well spot where the ogres are. If you do it this way, the ogres will eventually go over to the front part of the bridge to try and stop you from going over, and I think there will be a knight there as well. So it is just a case of watching out, spotting for your teammates, making sure that people know where everything is, and the guy that's shooting knows where everything is. Where he's actually stood is, if you take the normal route for the lamps, you come all the way up to the top and you're on the left hand side of the bridge where you stand up. If you stand at sort of like almost the bridge of the hill, when you're stood there, the thrall will come a certain distance to you, but nothing will spawn behind you, and nothing. The thrall will do their usual thing. They'll charge and then run off, and charge and then run off. And again, if it is the last one, it is important to try and keep a warlock alive for this because of the glide jump at the end for getting over the bridge, because there are quite a few enemies there. As I said here, what we're doing here is we're just pointing out to him where there's thrall, what's going on, looking around him as you see like I am there, telling him where the thrall is. They generally won't come close to you, as I said. You're pretty safe where you stood here. Nothing should come behind you unless you move too far forward. If you do move too far forward, as I said, then yeah, they will come and they will charge you. There should be a couple of knights up here as well that it's worthwhile taking out, just to make sure that you're keeping it as safe for yourself as you can. As I said, this strategy worked for us really well because although a few of us went down, we were able to be kind of looking at various different angles on the camera to make sure that nothing was running towards him, nothing was charging towards him or anything like that. I think it was about 2 or 3 of us using the camera angle to watch to make sure. This was the only thrall that spawned behind him, but because he moved backwards, it actually ran away, which was quite good. So yeah, it's just kicking on, just trying to pick off as much as what we can to make sure that he can get across the actual map, and then he's going, obviously you can see here he's going for the ogres, trying to make sure that the ogres go down, take the ogres out, and we're again just looking around making sure that there's nothing there. The cursor all on on the bridge. So it took us a little while to do this part. You will need to have a bit of patience while doing it. It's not something that you can just rush through. We tried to do the cheese section again, where just one of you go up and jump on the thing, but because it's the hard section, it just seems a damn sight harder to get on the top, onto the rock like you normally would do after making the last lamp go off. So we tried this method, and it worked really well for the hunter, because obviously the hunter's the quickest one. So now at the moment he's just kind of running around, and now he's going to go for it. I don't worry about the play leading, that's not important. So this is why it's important to have the warlock, because there's so much behind him. It just makes it easier to get across with having the glide jump. We were all screaming at him at this point. We were all proper hyped. This has been about the 10th time that we tried to do this, but this strategy will work quite well. Like I said, just make sure you've got a couple of warlocks in there, and they've got the revive on. You saw it really get taken out by the thrall, and any second now everything's going to load in, and there you go. That should get you to the end of that one. We're going to work on the second phase, but hopefully that helps you. Thanks a lot for watching, really appreciate it. See you on the next one.